Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this is a journey of an investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades. We do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you some more updates on the meeting with Pete Sessions and MMTLP investors that took place yesterday. We're also going to be looking at ticker symbol BBIG, Vinco Ventures, and getting an update on all the developments and the latest news with regard to BBIG. So before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So first headline here from Leading Report, Jim Jordan, the House Republicans to launch investigation into BlackRock, Vanguard and others over ESG practice. So it does look like there are people in Congress who are able to make such moves. So let's have a look at the details of this news. So the Republican Jim Jordan, the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, and two other House Republicans wrote 4 letters to the executives of large corporations such as BlackRock and Vanguard, requesting an explanation of any corporate environmental, social and governance initiatives that might be in violation of federal antitrust laws. So the lawmakers are claiming that in each letter the company's coordinated efforts and inclusive agreements to decarbonize assets under management and achieve zero emissions may have been in violation of US antitrust law. So we do await further details of this news. Let's start by having a quick reminder of the meeting that took place with Pete Sessions and some of the MMTLP community. So what Pete posted earlier is that we discussed key updates from the 118th Congress and current events. Your thoughtful questions and insights are shaping our future. So as far as my understanding is, in this meeting there were potentially, or should we say at least 5 MMTLP members, and there were questions, and we're going to look at details of that. Again, in terms of rumor, the rumor is potentially we may be getting closer to a subpoena, and hopefully that is announced as soon as possible. So let's have a look at in terms of the person, one of the key people who were there, who has been sharing information by the name of Heidi, and what she tweeted earlier is with regard to tagging in John Berder. Hey George said hello, a group of us met him at the town hall meeting this morning. So that was yesterday. He was amazing. I turned my attention to become, I wasn't vibing well with Pete Sessions number 2. He cautiously shared enough information to make me feel absolutely certain that Mr. Sessions is working long and hard on our behalf. So that's very, very positive, and it's also very encouraging. So the next shout out here is to Michael, who stated breaking news, tagging in Charles Payne. MMTLP has been acknowledged in a Pete Sessions town hall on Saturday, July the 8th. And at the event, Pete Sessions had presented a slideshow timeline. Please use your voice to help spread the news of this crime. And I believe that is true. There was a slideshow. We're going to get further details of that. So let's go back to Heidi, who has been sharing some of the important information, and what she stated here. It was a series of slides detailing the work he's done, so what Pete Sessions has done on behalf of the MMTLP community. His entire office is very aware of us and our situation. He asked us to please keep sending the letters and information. He said send to district office and not DC. So I do believe contacting Congress and contacting the members is having an impact. I also believe probably every single member of Congress will be aware of our situation. And obviously, according to Heidi here, she's basically saying Pete Sessions is working on our behalf. Our MMTLP community is awesome. So question here was, did he say he was willing to help subpoena the blue sheets? So what she stated here, he already did, and I think that's a big statement. I'm not sure if that's true. I hope it is, and if that is true, then obviously what we have here is a blatant violation from FINRA, or should we say a blatant refusal from FINRA to respond. However, what she's gone on to say, he hasn't got them from FINRA, so FINRA have not obliged, He's not too happy with that, but Pete Sessions is not a pushover. You should have heard him respond to the dude trying to get loud with him about a tweet he sent and subsequently deleted it. So Pete Sessions is certainly not afraid to speak out if he needs to, and hopefully he can continue with the dialogue and engagement with FINRA in terms of getting what we need. So what Warren Waralini has stated is, was the presentation accurate or slanted in favor of the hedge funds, or completely on our side, in your opinion? I think that may be a reference to Mr. Angel Lamb, who's certainly the slideshow was full of errors, was full of critical mistakes, and was certainly in not slanted in the favor of the retail. What Heidi has stated is absolutely, completely, unequivocally on our side, in my opinion. So that's very, very positive to hear, very pleasing to hear. And what Heidi has gone on to say is he had it ready in case somebody asked the question. I asked, are you willing to help us get the blue sheets? He was thrilled and thanked me for the question, told his people to put up the slides, then explained to the whole audience what was going on. So I have to thank Pete Sessions for this again, because this is certainly very, very encouraging. So Heidi gone on to say he also apologized and took ownership of the fact that this has dragged on for this long. It's complicated, and I think it runs so deep. In Heidi's opinion, we are making history, but I also agree with Heidi, and that is also true in my opinion. I do believe we are making history. So what she's saying here is that Pete Sessions also stated that the SVB debacle, which is referring to the banking issue, tied up the committee he needs to work with, and they are currently short-staffed. So that certainly makes sense, and I do look forward to more developments here. However, in terms of what was stated in yesterday's video, with the current situation with MMTLP and Congress is a situation where we're not going to get clear updates, we're not going to get official comments. It is going to require patience, and I think we do have to trust the process. I certainly am very positive and hopeful that Pete Sessions is on our side, as Heidi stated there, and I do believe he will fight our corner. So it's just a case of waiting for more developments. I'm now going to do a stock update on ticker symbol BBIG, also known as Vinco Ventures. This is a stock that has been previously covered on the channel. So shout out here to Garrett's Invest Co, who did make a request, and he stated here BBIG is about to squeeze like GameStop. So we will see if there is any potential for that. So let's start by having a look at the charts. So if we have a look at the one-day chart, close of play on Friday, we can see it was up in excess of 56.67%, closing at $1.88. So I do see Garrett's point here in terms of his speculation of a potential squeeze. However, I'm sure you're all aware over the medium and longer term from the previous year, it is down significantly. So if we have a look at the six months chart here, BBIG is down approximately 82%, where it was trading at one point in excess of $16 and currently trading at $1.88. So long-term trend isn't good. So in terms of getting up to date with the key developments, first up news here in terms of what has happened with BBIG. There was a fraud lawsuit, and we can see here the headline from Frank Neds: the BBIG fraud lawsuit has now grown significantly bigger. So what was this about? Let's get a quick update in terms of a recap for everybody looking at BBIG. So that lawsuit has grown bigger, and as more media outlets are covering it to look at investor claims against the company and its board. So obviously there are concerns. Clark County Republican Party Chairman Jesse Law is tied to the BBIG fraud lawsuit as a member of the company's board of directors. So obviously serious concerns there. Street Insider here has reported that none of the resignations were a result of any disagreement with the registrant, its management, the board or any committee of the board. The board of directors here, the allegation we could say is they have intentionally failed their fiduciary responsibilities and colluded to execute harmful and self-dealing actions that have caused a 99% decrease in shareholder value. So again, that is quite worrying. So the next hearing in the latest BBI lawsuit will take place on July the 15th or 16th, according to Shad Vink, who is a Vinco Ventures investor and plaintiff. So a key key date there for your diary, July the 15th and July the 16th. So in other developments here, what we can also share is Jason Dick, Vice President of NO Reno, Nevada, a political action committee, has stated that it's dedicated to exposing corruption, removing corrupt Republicans from office, and obviously with regard to this lawsuit, he believes that what has happened here is an example of someone becoming a politician to further themselves financially instead of furthering the interest of the Republican Party. So obviously some deep concerns here in terms of the BBIG family and the Jesse Law competitors. It states here, we believe the board of directors intentionally failed their responsibility, as also covered there. And what we can see here in terms of April, the BBIG community was able to raise more than $42,000 to fight the board of directors in court. So again, that is quite staggering. Investors have been calling the board of directors to step down. The amendment to the Articles of Incorporation, the addition of the preferred shares without shareholder vote was illegal. So strong allegations there. And obviously the investors also want to stop the reverse split. And the final thing I would like to share with you in terms of a potential concern about the company, the other news was the deal to sell National Enquirer has collapsed. So it states here, the deal to sell the National Enquirer, the scandal-plagued supermarket tabloid that facilitated a hush money scheme involving former President Donald Trump, has collapsed. So Vinco Ventures was the majority owner of the joint venture that agreed in February to buy the tabloid and other publications. So not good news here. However, in terms of expectation for BBIG Vinco Ventures going forward this week, so I certainly think it's potentially could still run. I don't believe that the company is without problems. We have seen legal issues here. We have seen obviously a problem in terms of this deal that is collapsing. However, that doesn't mean the share price is not going to be volatile. I think we could see some upside, but this is again one of those stocks which is a high risk, high reward, but one that we will be watching carefully. And finally, I'd like to share with you a quick review of our weekly watch list. This was shared prior to trading last week exclusively with the Discord members, and we called out a number of stocks. So these include the RNLX, that was up in excess of 10.4% on the week. Tesla we called out, up in excess of 5.3% on the week. CCL is one that we called out the week before, where it was up well in excess of 20%. It was also up again in the previous week in excess of 5.3% with a great upside on CCL. FRD we also called out, up 10.8% on the week. CBAY, that was up 10.4% on the week. CTMX, that was up 9.2% on the week. NCLH, that was up 2.3% on the week. TOP, we also called out, up 7.8% on the Friday, but did close down 16.9% on the week. So not all calls are successful. Oxy, we also called out. I think that still has good room for upside and possibly maybe at a good price. However, it's still traded around about level and closed level on the week, more or less. NKLA, we've also been watching. That was up in excess of 8.4% on the Friday and also up in excess of 3.7% on the week. XPEV, we have covered in some previous videos. We covered this when it was trading less than $10, currently in excess of $14. And also in the previous week trading, it was up in excess of 11.4% on the week. So refer back to the previous videos where we talked about the catalyst and the good news for XPEV. Sophie, we have also been covering. Again, it has been consolidating down. It was down 3.8% of the week. So not all calls are successful, but Sophie certainly do a pullback. MAX, we also called down. That was down 5.4% on the week. So the next weekly watch list will be shared exclusively prior to trading on Monday with the Discord members. You can get hold of a copy of this by joining. Details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.